Hey, what's going on, guys? Lordky here. I actually just talked about another Ngoc Talk Online, and this is going to be a continuation of that. What I wanted to talk about was boss variability. As you know, we have some of the coolest bosses in the game, and we have some of the worst brain-dead bosses in the game. It all depends on, how you see it and what bosses you're fighting at the time. So let's start with some of the coolest bosses, in my opinion, and these are the red ribbon bosses. The red ribbon bosses, you can't tell me these aren't the coolest goddamn bosses. This is where we first start seeing flare introduced in boss fights, because, red ribbon has been a very, very long thing. This is where we start seeing a lot of variety. Also, Murasaki's glitched for whatever reason. Let's see, let's turn that off. Oh, let's actually pick that up. Murasaki is glitched for whatever reason, and he just straight up gives gold, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Let's see. Let's turn this boy to follow, that way I can fight the monsters. One of the things... Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. One of the things that I was talking about is past maybe Frieza, there really isn't much variability in boss fights. The only thing that comes to mind in terms of variability is maybe the androids. They don't have this mechanic anymore, but before, way back in the day, they had this feature called laser eye beam, where it picks one lucky person in the zone to just get absolutely blasted. And it is a blast that deals 9 million damage. So every single person that's taking that is taking that on the chin, and there was no way to recover from it. You basically just died. In later versions of the game, you were able to use shield, and that mitigated a lot of it, but it was just difficult fighting them. Essentially, you had to budget like 5 gems and then just to go fight them, and you might barely just escape with your life. While that was a extreme example of variability, it was pretty fun. I did enjoy, like, the fact that I might die fighting these guys. And it was really cool to fight them like that, knowing that, there is a chance that you will straight up just die and decombust. And not many bosses do that after that. Let's talk about Cell, because Cell has something similar, and he has like life drain, where it picks one lucky person to just drain their whole life. I don't think Cell regains any HP from that. I could be wrong, but that was also cool. And then that also got taken out of the game. I don't know why. I personally favor, like, if they took you down to like a lot of HP but not 0 HP, I think that's always a good compromise. That way it's fair, but not like, screw you. Let's see, where is my suit? Other things that come to mind. Let's see, boss variability. Who are the best bosses to fight in this game? Hirudegarn's up there. He's pretty fun to fight. He's not difficult in terms of like you dying a lot. It's just, you're just kind of like chipping away at his HP little by little. The new bosses that we see, so Piano and the Bear Thief, I still haven't even touched Bear Thief. Piano will straight up regen like crazy. Hopefully you see the video on Piano. He's an absolute monolith. You are not touching him unless you have a zone chock full of Namekians that are trying to destroy him as well as you. Like, you're not touching this dude. Like, straight up. And it's not really fun. Like, he has cool attacks, cool variability, cool, like, area of effect attacks, but they don't really speak out. It just looks like the same boss over and over again, just with different styles to it. We even had recently Golden Frieza. Golden Frieza, it doesn't look good. It looks good on, let's see, what's the word? It looks good on Java Edition. It looks good on the small textures, but anywhere after that, Golden Frieza looks absolutely horrendous. which sucks because he drops a golden Frieza avatar, and it's so freaking cool. It expires, but you know, it's a cool little token of your hard work and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is, you know, his attacks still aren't even cool. Straight up, his mechanic, his thing is that when everyone's fighting him, essentially he just blows up and kills everyone. That's it. That's his whole shtick. And it sucks. Like, there's just no point in having that. And there's no point in having that just because, I don't know, it just doesn't make the game fun. Essentially, what you have to do is just tie him down for a large majority of time while you're waiting for Earths to charge up their spirit bomb. It's just not fun. Let's see, other bosses. Oh, huge bosses like, you know what? We actually do get to see some variability in the bosses more late game. So the whole Frieza ship is actually a prime example of late game cool bosses in the late game. So let's talk about them for a little bit. Let's see. So you start off with Dabura, and Dabura is a fun boss fight. If you're fighting Dabura, essentially, you have the chance to get stoned. Not like that. Oh, hell yeah, 4-star. And essentially, you are paralyzed for 20 seconds, and every single person can wail on you. Let's see, who else? And then right after that is Pui Pui. Pui Pui is really cool because there's two versions. There is the version where you just fight him normally, and I think he actually drops some stuff, so, you know, it's a cool boss to fight. And then there is the gravity version of Pui Pui, where the gravity of the room actually changes, and you have to fight him in that way. It makes it a really fun boss fight, because you're just struggling to catch him, and you have to rely on your blast. Yo, what's happening here? Rohit Nam Kame. Let's see. Right after Yakon is, I think, Dabura again. Dabura again. Yep. Same thing happens. Only this time you're actually accompanied by Goku and Majin Vegeta in this game, and it's really cool. It is probably one of my favorite parts of this game that doesn't really get to be explored that much, but it is one of the greatest parts of DBO, in my opinion. Let's see. Essentially, it's like a cutscene, but it's like in-game. Let's see. What else? And then after that is Majin Buu. Majin Buu, I don't know. It's nothing to write home about. But apparently he does drop like once a day, I think. If that. I don't know. All I know is he is known to drop some stuff, and it may or may not be good. Oh, you know what? Speaking of Majin Buu, there are other good bosses. Like, for example, even the other Majin Buu bosses. So there's two types of Majin Buu. It's crazy, yeah, I know. There's two types of Majin Buu. There is the Dabura, the basically Babidi, and then Buu when he goes like unhinged and stuff like that. Okay. I already have this item, perfect. Okay. And one of the attacks that the Boos have is they can actually absorb you, and once you get absorbed, you actually have to fight inside Boo just like the anime. It's really, really cool. But the thing is, now that we've talked about the positives of some of the bosses, let's talk about the negatives. Oh, darn it. How did I get to 10 minutes already? But yeah, let's talk about the negatives. So the negatives are, they just give every single boss just regen HP, man. It makes no sense. Like, I want to have bosses with variability, not freaking, oh, 2 billion HP, once it gets to 1 billion HP, then it's regenning. Like, that is not fun at all. Every single boss after what Goku Black is following the structure, and it's just not fun at all. Even bosses like Super Broly, which was one of the first bosses to get regen HP during the fight itself, has a limit on how it regens. It basically is like a Saiyan regenning. Whereas bosses nowadays, it's like if you don't have a tie active at all times, that boss is just going all the way up to like to basically near max health. But yeah, that covers that. Let's talk more about this later, shall we? I gotta go to work. See ya.